French Olympics judge being accused of giving a boosted score for their home country in the ice dance final, while also giving a lower score for Team USA than any other judge.
Team USA was just cheated out of a gold medal, and the evidence is sitting right there in the official scoring sheets for everyone to see. Madison Chalk and Evan Bates skated for their lives and left everything on the ice, but a French judge was determined to keep them from winning.
We haven't studied it in depth, but we did speak to our coach and we did talk to each other, and we know how we felt on center ice after we skated. We felt like we delivered our absolute best performance that we could have.
Basically, this official ignored the errors of his own countrymen while dropping the Americans to a lower rank than every other judge on the panel. This is a massive cheating scandal that has left the athletes in tears and the fans across the country demanding immediate justice for our skaters. French judge caught boosting scores. Madison Chalk and Evan Bates felt a sense of pure joy when they finished their program in Milan. They had spent years preparing for this exact moment, and they truly believed they had put out the best performances of their lives. After skating 4 times on Olympic ice, they were proud of how they handled themselves and how they represented their country. But that pride quickly turned into a deep hurt when the final numbers were posted. The French duo of Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron were awarded the gold medal, even though they had made visible errors during their routine. The French pair finished with a score of 225.82, while the Americans finished with 224.39. What most people do not realize is that this small gap of less than 2 points was entirely manufactured by a single person on the judging panel. A French judge was caught giving his own team scores that were 7 points higher than what he gave to the Americans. This is a key detail, because it shows that the judge did not even bother to hide his bias. He did not ding the French skaters for their mistakes, and he actively dropped the Americans lower than any other official did. There are still many rumors in the air about how this could happen at such a high level of competition. 5 out of the 9 judges actually had Team USA winning over the French, but the way the Olympic scoring system works allowed one rogue official to tip the scales. This kind of behavior is exactly why so many people are losing faith in the Olympics. We are told that a mixed panel of judges is supposed to keep things fair, but that only works if people act with honesty. When a judge from a specific country decides to act as a fan instead of a professional, the entire system falls apart. Madison Chalk and Evan Bates have been through this before, and it seems like they are tired of the games being played behind the scenes. They hinted that this might be their last season after 15 years of competing together. It is hard to keep going when you do everything right and still get robbed by someone with a hidden agenda. The judge in question was sitting there doing math in his head to make sure his country came out on top. He knew that if he dropped the Americans low enough, the French duo would walk away with the gold. It is simple math, and it is a total sham that ruins the spirit of the sport. The International Skating Union tried to defend the results by saying it is normal to have a range of scores. They claim they are committed to fairness, but it is hard to believe that when the bias is this obvious. This judge had a job to do, and he chose to ignore the rules to favor his home team. Madison and Evan looked at each other in total shock when they realized they were getting the silver medal. They had put in the work to peak at this event, and they skated flawlessly for the entire week. To see a team that made mistakes get rewarded while they were punished for being perfect is a bitter pill to swallow. This is not just human error, it is human cheating, and it is happening right in front of the world. Our athletes deserve better than a system that allows one person to steal a lifetime of hard work. Something was hidden in the technical reviews that changed the fate of the American team forever. past scams haunting the rink. This is not the first time that Madison Chalk and Evan Bates have dealt with a cheating scandal at the Olympics. Back in the 22 Beijing Winter Games, they were part of a team that was robbed of their moment on the podium because of a drug scandal. A Russian skater named Kamila Valieva failed a drug test during those games, and it took almost 2 years for the medals to be sorted out. Team USA was eventually pushed to the top for the gold medal, but they never got to celebrate it on the ice with their fans. They have spent their entire careers dealing with people who do not play by the rules, and it seems like the world is starting to notice the pattern. The French duo at the center of the current scandal has also been close to controversy in the past. Gabriela Papadakis had a previous partner who was banned by Skate Canada, and her current partner Guillaume Cizeron has had his own public battles. A former partner of Cizeron claims she lost a major commentator role after he contested what she wrote in her book about working with him. It seems like drama follows this pair wherever they go, and yet they always seem to come out on top when the judges are involved. This is a key detail because it shows that the people winning the gold medals are not always the ones who deserve them the most. The Americans spoke about these challenges during an interview back in 24. They mentioned how hard it is to stay focused when you know the system might be rigged against you. They have spent 15 years together on the ice, and they have seen the best and worst of the sport. To be cheated again in Milan after everything they went through with the Russian scandal is just heartbreaking. They delivered their best skates 4 times, and they were so proud of that work. But the aftermath of this event is so immediate and painful that it is hard for them to even think about the future. Everyone knows they were wronged, and the disparity in the voting tells the whole story. When you look at the rhythm dance and the free dance, the French judge dropped the Americans way lower than anyone else did. This is a problem that has been going on for decades in the Olympics. People used to always blame the Russian judge for screwing over the Americans, but now it seems the French have taken over that role. It is a deep issue that goes beyond just one event. It is about whether or not the Olympics can ever truly be a fair competition when human bias is allowed to run wild. Madison and Evan have handled this with a lot of grace, which is more than can be said for some of the other athletes. They are a beautiful married couple who just wanted to do a great job for their country. They did not go over there to bash anyone or make political statements. They went there to skate, and they did that better than anyone else. In the court of public opinion back home, they are the true gold medal winners. They may take home silver, but the world knows who really won that night in Milan. But the ice was not the only place where things were starting to fall apart for Team USA. Politics ruining the podium. While Madison Chalk and Evan Bates were representing the country with class, other athletes were busy stirring the pot. There is a group of Olympians who seem more interested in their political beliefs than in the sports they are paid to play. Michaela Schifrin and other stars have made comments that many Americans find divisive and offensive. Schifrin has talked about the difficulty of representing the United States right now, and has carefully chosen words to support diversity and inclusion in a way that feels like a jab at millions of people back home. It is a tough time in our country, and these athletes are not making it any easier by bringing their personal agendas to the world stage. Another skier named Hunter Hess even said that just because he is wearing the flag does not mean he represents everything going on in the United States. This kind of attitude is the opposite of what the Olympics should be about. These people are being paid to represent us, and yet they seem to hate where they are from. They are waving their gold medals in our faces while complaining about our leaders and our values. It is a total mismatch of attitudes compared to skaters like Madison and Evan, who just wanted to make their country proud. The reaction from people back home has been swift and full of mixed emotions. Many people feel like they cannot even get behind their own team anymore because the athletes are so divisive. Figure skater Amber Glenn claimed she received a scary amount of threats after making comments that upset the community. But the reality is that people are just tired of the politics. We want to watch sports to be united, not to be lectured by people who live in a bubble. These athletes are welcomed into hostile environments in other countries, and they seem to embrace that anti-American sentiment. It is maddening to see an athlete like Schifrin prancing around with a gold medal while sticking it to her own country. She is talented, and she earned her win through skill, but her attitude is making it hard for people to cheer for her. We are asking for athletes who understand that the Olympics are supposed to bring us together. When there is country bashing and cheating, it ruins the entire experience. It is why so many people are simply not interested in signing up for this stuff anymore. Nobody wants to see their country get robbed on the ice and then defamed by the people wearing the uniform. These athletes are allowed to have their opinions, but they should also realize that they are there to represent everyone. My parents were immigrants who came here legally, and they were always proud of what this country offered. They saw the United States as a place of opportunity and love. It is sad to see young people today who have been given so much act like they are being oppressed. We need more compassion and respect for the people who actually support these teams. If the athletes want unity, they should start by showing some love for the country that made their dreams possible. The medals themselves were about to show just how hollow the entire event had become. Medals breaking into pieces. If the rigged judges and the political drama were not enough, the physical medals themselves started falling apart. This sounds like a joke, but it is a real issue that several American stars had to deal with. Alyssa Liu and Breezy Johnson both reported that their medals literally flew off the ribbons. The design was so poor that the heavy metal discs were not secured properly. Breezy Johnson actually had to have a new medal issued to her because hers was damaged when it hit the floor. This is a total embarrassment for the Olympic Committee, and it shows a lack of care for the athletes who worked so hard to earn those prizes. It is ridiculous that in a world where we spend millions of dollars on these events, we cannot even get a string and a piece of metal to stay together. They probably paid someone with a fancy degree way too much money to design something that does not even work. The Olympics released a statement saying they are looking into it, but the damage is already done. It is a perfect metaphor for the state of the games right now. On the outside, they look shiny and important, but on the inside, they are falling apart and full of flaws. Between the rogue judges and the medals breaking into pieces, the whole thing feels like a sham. We see representatives of terrible regimes around the world competing while our own athletes talk down to us. It is a strange environment where the values of honesty and hard work seem to be disappearing. This is why a lot of people are turning away from big tech and big institutions and looking for ways to take back control. Speaking of control, if you feel like your digital life is being scanned or analyzed by big tech, you should look into Proton. They are a privacy company that does not sell your data or feed it to advertisers. They are built in Europe and offer an encrypted ecosystem where not even the company itself can see your files. When you are tired of being watched and analyzed by people who do not have your best interests at heart, making a switch to something private is a great move. Whether it is backing up photos or using secure emails, you deserve to know your information is safe. It is the same kind of security we wish our athletes had when they step onto the ice. We want to know that the results are based on talent and not on a judge sitting in a room trying to mess with our country. The Olympics should be ashamed of how they have handled these games, from the scoring to the construction of the medals. Are rigged judges and political protests turning the world away from the games forever? Tell us your thoughts below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Olympic truth.